So Vintage Life. I'm Lisa, I'm a vintage inspired seamstress and dressmaking teacher. In today's vlog I'm going to be looking at how I plan out my seasonal sewing. So this season coming up is going to be autumn. So it's about how I plan it and what I'll be making. Now what I do at the start of every season, I first of all think about gaps in my wardrobe. So like in the summer, I just knew I needed a few more strappy sundresses, plus it was extra hot. So I just look at the gaps, the type of things that I want to be wearing, I know I like wearing. I've got a really good feel now for the shapes that suit me, but if you haven't as yet, I would suggest, like in my sewing lessons, I say go and try on ready to wear, even if it doesn't fit you properly. You know, if you think, oh, I want to wear sailor trousers, try some on to see if you like the cut of them on you. Put colours beside you to see which ones work, because I mean, God, if I put pastels by me, I look like a corpse. It just totally washes me out. I need colours with some real depth and intensity to work for me. And then there's obviously some colours that just look ugh. My best colours I know are blues and greens. They work the best on me, and creams and whites look really good. They're my best go-to colours. And then there's obviously all the colours that I like. So I always think about gaps in my wardrobe. That's really important. And then moving on, thinking about the type of colours I want to add to that wardrobe, and adding to that the type of textures, the fabrics, so for autumn, winter, I really love things that are soft. So brushed needle cord, whether it be velvets, woolly tartans, jewel tones to go with it. I'm quite happy to have quite lightweight blouses under things, but jerseys, everything that just feels comforting against the skin. You want to be warm and cosy. And of course, we've got the added bonus in the autumn and winter that we can layer. So you can really play around with, layering up different textures, whether it be a linen waistcoat underneath, a mohair cardigan, and like a chiffon or rayon blouse underneath all of that. You can really build up, and you can have prints, with plains and whatever. So I think you can have a lot more fun with your wardrobe in the layering months. So as much as I love spring and summer, they're my favourite seasons, I love the wardrobe possibilities of the autumn and the winter. And I'm actually getting quite excited about autumn. I think my head's turning towards those colours. So I've written down in my book the type of things that I want to be sewing, the gaps that I've got, and the things that I'd like to be sewing. And I realised I just need a few more separates, some more blouses. I've got quite a lot of jersey tops. I might end up chucking another stripe in, another jersey striped t-shirt. I know I need some more blouses. I want to make some waistcoats. And for a pattern here, this is the fabric. It's a bit tatty, but I've got a lovely waistcoat on this that I want to use. I'm quite tempted to make a cream linen because I know that will mix and match. I'm thinking, say, blacks and whites that are going to really merge, and then bringing in other colours like magentas and toffee browns and greens, a few more cream cardigans, that type of thing. So they're the colours I'm introducing. I want to knit another pink cardigan, but they're the kind of colours that I'm thinking of. And I also want to make a Pendleton style jacket, and I had in my head for a couple of years wanting one in like a mix of red, black, cream, grey, that kind of a tartan wool mix. And I actually thought this jacket on here also would work well as a Pendleton type style jacket, so I might be using that. I also now want to make some black wool trousers, the side button ones that I use, the Wearing History overalls. I've made those before in a blue herringbone wool. I'm just thinking I just need a few more basics that mix and match with everything. So I'm thinking some black wool trousers. I want to make another pair of Marilyn jeans because my jeans are getting quite tatty. So I want another pair of jeans because I do wear my jeans a lot during the winter with my boots. So they're the two pairs of trousers I want to make. And here I've cut out the Richmond blouse in this lovely vintage fabric that's quite illustrated, so I've got to do buttons on there. I've cut out another blouse which I'll talk about in a moment. The Victoria blouse I showed you before with the ruffle neck, I've got some lovely crepe for that, so I'll be doing that. And I found today in the charity shop, after I taught sewing this morning, this pussy bow blouse pattern, and I've wanted to have a better pussy bow blouse pattern, so I think I'll be doing that as well. And I said about the waistcoat, and I also fancy one of my 50s 60s patterns, turning it into a denim jacket, you know, something easier to go over rather than my traditional like denim Levi's jacket, making more of a fitted denim jacket to go with lots of things. So they're my main makes that I'm thinking of, and then we're going to throw in the knitting on top of that, you know, with various other knits. So next week I'm going to be talking about what I'm knitting, showing you some of the vintage patterns I've got, that type of thing. So I told you there's another blouse that I've started working on, and this is the collar from that blouse, and I've got a little how-to video coming up for you in a moment about how you do this collar. I'd got this crepe, this cream crepe, and I'd bought it to underline a dress, you know, with some knit, and I decided it wasn't right. It looked quite murky under the black net. In the shop it looked great, but at home it looked quite murky and horrible. So I thought, well, I mean, I've got loads of it, but I thought, right, I'm going to make myself a lovely 1940s cream crepe blouse. So I've used a smooth sailing blouse, which I know fits me. I've modified and I've made it loads, and I rounded off the collar tips. So I wanted to use that. That has short sleeves. So then I'm using the Simplicity pattern for the long sleeves. So I've cut all of those out. And then after doing my National Trust review about going to Sutton Hoo, I often review those on my Instagram feed. We call ourselves the Intrepid, oh gosh, my brain, the National Trust Intrepid Explorers Club, tripping over my words. So we went to Sutton Hoo, where they filmed, you know, the film The Dig was based on, and there's some marvellous costumes in there, and particularly love Carrie. What's her name? God, I'm trying to talk to camera and I'm with words. Main character who plays Edith. Anyway, Edith Pretty's character. And it will come to me after I film this, but anyway, I love what she wears, and she's got this cream blouse with the pleats on the collar, and I thought that's the one I'm going to do. And I always love doing rows of top stitching on my collars for this blouse, so that's what I've done. So I'm going to show you how you make this type of collar in case you're interested. So I've got my two collars, I've pinned them together to keep them in place, interfaced, and then I've got my strip which I've been hand pleating and pinning, you know, to keep everything nice and neat. Strip completed, I've basted it together on the sewing machine to hold it. Now before sandwiching the pleat between both collars, I'm going to pin it onto the top collar, baste that in place again so I know that's not going to be moving around. Once that's all pinned and then sewn, then I can add the top collar to it. With that all basted to the collar, I'm just pinning it back to see how lovely this is going to look, and I'm really pleased with it. And then I'm going to put both collars together. So now I'm putting the under collar onto the top collar. And the crepe, you know, it's quite sort of stretchy and movy, so I'm going to first of all pin the notches on the top collar. That's just the part that I'll be adding to the neck. This isn't the bit I'm sewing. But it's just to keep everything in position, and then I'm going to pin all around the collar. I do actually turn the pins around. I was just doing this because filming I ended up sort of, it's an awkward angle. You know what I mean. So my collar is all sewn together. I've graded and clipped all the curves, so I'm just turning it out to see how it looks. I'm just really pleased with this. And then I'm going to smooth it out and give it a press. Normally I'd understitch the collar, but the pleat's going to hide anything that would poke out, so I don't need to do that. So that's fantastic. And let's get a bit of hot steam going on it, and then I'm happy. So now I'm stitching my rows of gold top stitching. I think I'm on the second row here. I'm going really slowly around the corner just to get the curve precise. I did have to unpick at times. I'm pretty good at top stitching, but oh, this has been a nightmare. Now I can go a bit faster on the long straight edge, which is far more my normal speed of sewing. And then it's into the other corner again. And as you can see, I basted along the collar edge just to keep everything in place too, so the collar behaves. I'm getting there, I've nearly finished, just going around that tricky little corner. And then I can zoom down to the last bit, and then I'll be able to show you what the whole collar looks like in a moment. There we go, that's on the flat, and this is what it's going to look like folded together. Now, whilst I haven't started sewing this blouse, I got on with the collar straight away because I was dead excited to see what the collar would look like, and I'm really thrilled with it. There you go, see, just very, very happy with it. So I will get on with it. I'm just finishing up some other makes for my daughter before she goes back to uni on Monday. And then I will get on with those, plus so many other things that I've got to do, like the dressmaker's ball dress, and which I haven't even given a minute's thought to since I started my initial planning. So that's where I'm at, and loads of ideas. I think the sewing mojo is really buzzing away again. So hopefully you found this useful, and just thinking about how you plan out this make. So I'm really excited to get making these things and be wearing them, and just in my head I can picture how they'll all mix and match and they'll all work. You know, some might not even happen until next March, if at all, but these are the plans. That's what excites and fires us. Any questions or comments about any of these ideas or how you make the collar, please fire them away below. I'll link below everything that I can think of that might be useful, like patterns and whatnot. And please subscribe so you don't miss my videos. I've been trying to aim for loading them on a Thursday, but it's end of the summer holidays. Everything else I've told you before is all gone out the window, so hopefully normal service will be resumed very soon. Yeah, today is just squishing in this filming between teaching in the morning, picking up supplies, going to the charity shop, come home to do this filming, go back and pick my daughter up from work, come back to do birthday party baking. So it's all a bit crazy trying to fit it in, but I did because I love sharing them with you. So until next time, which will, fingers crossed, be on a Thursday, have a lovely time whatever you're up to, and I shall see you then. Bye bye.